We'll call this P&Z meeting to order. Consider the approval of the minutes for the February 8, 2022 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting and take any action as necessary. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I approve.
Everybody say aye.
Aye.
It's approved. Item number 3, SC 2022-01, hold a public hearing to consider the request of Jonathan Cardenas, application owner for the thoroughfare closure of an 15-foot alley right-of-way adjacent to lots 1B, 2B, 3B, 10, 11, and 12, block 6, Pine Hills Edition. TCADI number 15710, 15715, and 15716, City of Mount Pleasant, Titus County, Texas. Located north of West 16th Street, located between North Johnson Avenue and Mulberry Avenue, and take any action as necessary.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is a case that came into us. It's an old apartment complex over there. It's been there a long time. I guess sort of a renowned person used to own it, Buddy Blue, I was told. And he sold it to another person, and he's come in and wanted to rebuild some of the apartments, take some out and rebuild some of the back. And by doing so, we discovered that there was an alley that we could not document that alley being abandoned because it's probably been there for, I don't know how many years, probably, you guys probably know how long that apartment complex has been there. Looks to me to be there for 60, 70 years. It looks that old, maybe longer, I don't know. But there's some other buildings that are built on, are the apartments and then the houses in front. I don't know if we've got an aerial. That's the plat. And what we're trying to abandon tonight is just a portion of that alley, only where the owner has bought the property. There's a sort of a survey that he had done on the property, kind of indicating where the buildings were, and you can tell that some of the apartments and what it looks like an older house or whatnot is kind of been added onto, and is sitting right on top of this alley. There's kind of an arrow, and you kind of tell it more there with the aerial photograph if you've got it in your packet, where that alley comes across. So we were told it was the surveyor backing up on this thing. The survey that was done, they indicated that the alley was abandoned, but we really, without the actual research, and we couldn't find anything, in our records, and it'd be difficult to go back that far to really locate anything. So this is a process that the city has they call it a thoroughfare right-of-way closure, but it applies to anything that's a right-of-way closure, alley, street, or anything that might be that way. And this is the procedure. We've done it once before already. You've seen this happen. So what we're asking you tonight is really just abandon a portion of the alley, that portion that on his property, and then that will allow him, he'll come back in with an actual replat of the property and indicating that that's all adjoined as one lot. And then he plans to go to the backside, build an apartment. We have a site plan now that we're reviewing that will build a sort of a linear apartment units, and then I think he's going to take these in the front right here, and he will tear those down and do away with those, and then relocate a brand new set of apartments in the back. That's the indication we have from him. I'd assume that eventually maybe these also, his intent is probably as he gets these built, move people into those, and then essentially kind of redo all this and take all this out and establish some more apartments this way, and be able to get more in there more efficiently and actually newer. So that would be actually a good thing for the city. So tonight, all we're asking you to do is make a recommendation for this closure of this portion of the alley, and I'll take any questions you may have. It's also actually a public hearing. I don't believe that we've had anybody show up for the public hearing, so we did notify neighbors around there that are adjacent to it within 200 feet, but we haven't got a response back. I'll be glad to take any questions.
Okay, so nobody's here, so we'll close the public hearing.
I'd open it first and then close.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll open the public hearing. Anybody want to say anything? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Do I hear a motion to accept the abandoned alley?
Motion to approve.
Everybody say aye.
I will second.
All passed. Okay, we'll go to number 4, Z 2022-02. Hold a public hearing to consider the request of Jeff Jackson and Stan Garrett, applicant owners, for zoning change from future development to C Commercial District on 6.71 acre tract of land situated in the Lewis H. Bradley Survey, abstract number 21, Titus County, Texas, and in the city of Mount Pleasant, and being all that certain called 6.6 acre tract of land conveyed from RWB Properties to LTD to RB Capital Ltd. by general warranty deed as recorded in file number 2018-007, public record, Titus County, Texas, tract 1, TCAD ID number 376 and 377, and a 2.5 acre tract of land situated in the Lewis H. Bradley Survey, abstract number 21, Titus County, Texas, and being part of that certain 37.51 acre tract of land called Tract 2, conveyed from RWB Properties Ltd. to RB Capital Ltd. by general warranty deed as recorded in file number 2018-0080, public records, Titus County, Texas, Tract 2, TCAD ID number 341289, and generally located on the north side of Interstate 30 and east of County Road 3225. Take any action necessary.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this is a zoning case. It's currently zoned FD. It was brought into the city a few years ago, and the owner, I believe this company named Smarties, that owns this, Mr. Jeff Jackson. The other owner, actually the property I think at one time was owned by Ricky Baker, and Mr. Jackson is essentially wanting to build another retail building out front. He's asked to do that. He's got a site plan going on it. We've kind of let him start with some preliminary dirt work and whatnot to get started on it because he's anxious to get it built for financial reasons and for some business reasons. He needs to get it going. So we tried to accommodate that. But we've asked him to zone it. The property's not zoned. It's essentially zoned future development, and it needs to be zoned before we can come in. Just to tell you what had happened here, why there's another applicant on it, it's basically Mr. Baker owns some property. Stan's represents Mr. Baker. And they had a land swap. I think they had swapped, Mr. Jackson owned this triangular part that Ricky had owned at one time, but they swapped property, and Mr. Jackson picked up this property. Mr. Baker got this property back to simplify this problem of that because of the way that we had to advertise it and the way we needed to, when we didn't have a legal description, and the inability to get surveyors out and any expedited survey is pretty tough right now. So Mr. Baker agreed to go ahead and join in on the zoning so all this property can be zoned simultaneously. So that's why you have two applicants that are involved to explain that part of it for you. But essentially, that's exactly what he wants to do. He was just in the process of trying to build an additional retail building here, and it needed to be zoned commercial to accommodate that, and they brought that request to us. And tonight we're trying to do that to get it expedited and get a get a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission. It is a public hearing, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, do we need to open the public hearing? Okay, we'll open the public hearing. If anybody has anything to say?
Well, we at the moment he had a sort of a lot of record. You know, we were trying to get him to do that. He combined those pieces. We sort of had to get the zoning in front of that before we try to plat it. So we're going to ask him to plat that, and it will.
Right. Okay, all right. Any more comments? All right, we'll close the public hearing, and do I hear a motion to rezone zone the property to commercial? Everybody say aye. Okay, it's approved. Now we go to planning director's report.
Don't have a lot tonight. Just wanted to kind of keep you informed about our comprehensive planning process. We are going to have a workshop next week with the council just to bring them up to speed on what we've done. I will tell you, in the last week or so with the consultant, we've pretty much finished the draft version of the land use map, the new land use map like you see over in the very end there, but we got the new version of it now, which is a lot more detailed, I think, and I think it's going to be a lot easier to deal with the work from. And we're able to put together a draft copy of what will be the major thoroughfare plan, the thoroughfare map. Made some corrections from the old map, and I think we're going to try to coordinate that with, currently we're working with our engineer to come up with some design manual for the city, which we don't really have, an engineering design manual. So we'll be matching those road sections, we'll match that manual, and you'll be looking at that all as it comes across, but that'll be not far from now either. We're kind of creeping up on where you guys are going to start really getting involved in that part of it. So you should start seeing or have a work session with you guys or bring it to you, I would think probably in April. It may be on that April agenda. But we may have to, and it's likely that we'll have to call a special meeting for Planning and Zoning Commission just because of the timing to get you in on that. So probably look at it at least twice before we send it up to City Council. So that's all I've got for tonight. I'm glad to answer any questions if you had anything for me.
Anybody got any questions? Questions? All right, thank you, Robert. Meeting's adjourned. Hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, it's adjourned. Thank you.